What is up, guys? Trollkin here. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in once again. Welcome to Draw Phase. In today's video, we're going to be going over a Jinx discard slash aggro deck. Very easy to navigate, very straightforward, and pretty powerful. I'd say like top 3, just because it's like has so much speed and has so much synergy with discard. So before we get into it, if you haven't already, please hit like, comment, and subscribe buttons and do all the things. For the first 500 subscribers, if we ever get there, if we ever reach that pinnacle, I'm going to be giving away a Proving Grounds box set. All the cards got released. I have a stream video on my channel. Check it out. It goes over the whole entire things. There are certain cards, I believe there's like 24 cards you can only get from that set. So definitely, hit a button and you have a chance to win something free. So without further ado, we're going to go straight into it. The main legend of the deck is Jinx, of course. It is running Fury and Chaos runes. The Jinx is loose cannon. At the start of your beginning phase, draw 1 if you have 1 or fewer cards in your hand. So the point of the deck is really easy. You're discarding pretty much your whole entire hand, and there's ways to grab them out of the trash, and there's also ways to benefit from having a lot of cards in the trash, which we'll go over in a second. So the point is to get your hand down to 1, and then you start digging for Death Rocket or digging for things that you need to win the game, either in units or in Super Mega Death Rocket, because that card is ridiculous, has so much value. Before we get into that card, we're going to go over runes and battlefields first. I'm running 10 runes of Fury and 2 runes of Chaos, because we just splash like a little bit of purple for some control, and we'll go over those cards in a second. In battlefields, we're running Reaver's Row. When you defend here, you may move a friendly unit here to your base. So if there are instances when there's a card from your opponent's side or a unit that's gonna take over a battlefield and initiate a showdown, and you're gonna lose, if you're holding, right, have a chance just to retreat and without any risk of losing the card. So we're trying to be aggressive, but in instances when they have a chance to take out like our main units, as in Vi or in Jinx Demolitionist, then you really just want to hold on to those cards so you can kind of wait up, build up, and like take over the game. So really cool battlefield for the deck. Fits in well perfectly. Also, units here have ganking and windswept hillock. Ganking's cool because like you want to win the game as fast as possible in any type of control matchup or any type of Volibear matchup where they're dropping bombs that you can't really deal with. Moving a unit from the battlefield that you've conquered to an open battlefield scores you 2 points, or an extra point rather, and winning the game as fast as possible is like really effective with this deck. You don't want to get too long. Like, you can survive mid game, but anything that goes into late game where they're popping off with their combos, dropping volley bears, using Yasuo left and right, doing combat tricks at showdowns, then you just you kind of get run over. The next and last battlefield is Zon Warrens. When you conquer here, discard 1 and draw 1. It's a discard deck. This battlefield lets you discard and dig into your deck to look for things that will make you win the game. In such, for instance, like Vi is really good to draw into. And, of course, Death Rocket is like what you're really, really looking for. You want Death Rocket in your hand at all times. So, going into champions, we're running Vi as champion and Jinx. So Vi fits really well because it has ganking, so it can score points back and forth, and the cost is fair, right? At 3 runes, 1 recycled, and 3 might. Also, recycle 1 from your trash, give me +1 this turn. So as you're discarding decks or cards left and right from your hand, your trash is going to build up. Now you can recycle 1, which means you put it back into your deck, right? Which is kind of like a downside if you're looking for something specifically. But you can get +1, so, and you can do that infinitely. Well, not infinitely, but as many cards are in your trash. So Vi can get really big to kind of compete in the mid game a little bit, and it kind of just like gives you that like backbone and support when your opponent is starting to like pop off on their combos and stuff. At least like you have a high might unit in Vi to help you kind of stabilize the mid game. So really good card, has to be in the deck. Fits perfectly with it, and in the lore, they're sisters, so it's pretty cool. We're also running Jinx Demolitionist, 4 cost, 1 recycled for 4 might. You can accelerate it, which means you pay 2, one of which gets recycled. So really, it's a 6 cost unit. But it enters ready, so you can automatically put it into a battlefield. And when it's attacking, it has 6 might. So it's either a 4 for 4 or a 6 for 6, right? And also when you play it, you discard, which coincides with the point of the deck. So very effective card, really good card. You have to put it in. In terms of seals, we are running Seal of Rage. For those that don't know, seals is basically like Moxes from Magic the Gathering, kind of. So you recycle 1 rune, but in the future you have the ability at reaction speed to pay for a recycle cost instead of actually recycling one of your runes. So that's really good. Chemtech Enforcer, a 2 for 2. Right? Assault 2, when you play me, discard a card. So when it's an attacker, which means when it goes to a battlefield that an opponent is holding, it gets +2, so it's a 2 for 4. Very good. It's just aggressive, right? Because early game, if they're going first, they're going to be able to conquer first. Chances are they have like a 2 might unit, maybe a 3 might unit, but nothing more than that. And this just topples over it. You score a point, and yeah, it's just a really, really clean, efficient, early game aggressive card. So in the terms of trying to control the game a little bit, where you have a card and Get Excited, so 3 cost, 1 of which gets recycled. At action speed, discard 1, deal its energy cost as damage to a unit at battlefield. Ignore its power cost. So energy cost, obviously, like the rune cost and everything, right? And you can use it to deal damage to a unit at a battlefield, obviously. I mainly use it for the discard, right? To fuel the Jinx engine with drawing. However, there are some instances where, there is like a 5 might unit on your opponent's side that they've conquered the battlefield with, and it's just incredibly important to get rid of that. You can sack Blazing Scorcher, which is pretty much why it's in its deck, to deal 5 for 3, which is really strong and really cheap, So yeah, Get Excited does work sometimes, but not all the time. Sometimes you just want to discard it because you want to get the engine going with Jinx, but still, like, it's good to have there as like just in case of emergency situations. Next is Flame Chompers, 3 for 3, very clean cost. When you discard me, you may pay a recycled rune to play me. So what's really cool with this is that you can actually turn 3 if you have 4 runes, right? Which you should. Yep. You can play a Seal of Rage. I'm sorry. You can play if you already have a Seal of Rage, right? You can play Chemtech Enforcer, and then discarding Flame Chompers, and then tapping your Seal of Rage in order to play it a 3-might unit for basically almost free. So yeah, really cool combo, really aggressive. Like, it's a great turn 2. I think you can do it in turn 1 with Power Obelisk on thing, because you can have 5 runes. Yeah, you can do it turn 1 with Power of Obelisk if it's on one of the battlefields. So really strong, really aggressive, really fast, like cute little combo there. And also, it's just discard fodder with an upside. So next is Disintegrate. Sometimes you just need to kill things, and for 4 costs, deal 3 to a unit at a battlefield. If it kills it, you get to draw 1 at action speed. Sometimes you just need to do a little extra damage before you go into a battlefield, and this is the point of the card. Our might caps out other than Vi at 5, but even this is like mid-game, mid-late game. And at that point, if you're not winning, then you're going to lose. We have 4 might units, So that extra damage and being able to dig deep into your deck a little bit helps tremendously in certain situations, especially with Yasuo's and everything, because they kill a unit. Like, Yasuo can kill a unit before the showdown even starts, and yeah, it's a very annoying card against Jinx. So the next card is a 4 for 4. Legion, which means like you have to combo. So in order to get the Legion effect, you have to play a card before this, which, in certain situations, ideally, you want your Seal of Rage to trigger your Legion effect, and it costs 2 less, which is really cool. So you can play this turn 1 with Power Obelisk, or turn 3. And it's basically a 2 for 4. You kind of want to always play it for its Legion effect if you're gonna play it on your base. However, it's also discard fodder if you need it to be. Speaking of discard fodder, Blazing Scorcher is pretty much there for either, like I said before, get excited, or a card just to discard to dig for other or your Death Rocket. Are there certain situations where you're gonna want to pay 7 to accelerate it? Maybe, but at that point, it's pretty like late mid game, if not late game already. And if there is something that if you want to have it ready, that you can take a battlefield, then great. That's also being aggressive. However, this card's okay at best. Like in terms of stats, like trying to topple someone so late in the game or take down a battlefield from your opponent. So it's situational. Like 7 just to have it enter ready for only 5 might is kind of weak. However, depending on the situation, if it gets you ahead, then do it. But I mainly use it for get excited or discard fodder. Speaking of super mega death rocket, here's a card. So for 5 cost, 1 you can recycle either a chaos rune or a fury rune, which is really cool, and you deal 5 to a unit, and that breakpoint is so important. It doesn't kill Darius and it doesn't kill Yasuo, right? But for the most part, it kills a lot of champion units. Kills Set, kills Leona, kills Victor. The list goes on and on. Obviously, anything in Volibear, it's not even going to touch. However, when you do, it does have like a bonus effect. So if you use it to kill a unit, and when you conquer, you may discard 1 to return this from your trash to your hand. So you play it, right? You take out something on the battlefield. You move in your units to the battlefield. You conquer the battlefield, and this pops back into your hand. So then it just has this like value of just like playing it over and over and over and over again. So yeah, really cool card. Very strong. Like, don't forget that this card exists. And also, when you're going against a Jinx deck, be wary if they're having a Death Rocket in hand, because it's just so strong. And with seals, like if they have a seal out, right? Paying for to do 5 damage with the upside of it going back into your hand if they conquer is so strong. So strong. So we're also playing the Seal of Discord, right? Just a splash and a little purple, but only 2 of. We're not doing 3 of. So what I was talking about before with the control cards, there's some there are some situations and some like matchups, like I believe in like Darius or maybe even Lee Sin, right? When they have buffs on them. Early game, returning a unit with 3 or less might to its owner hand at reaction speed for only 1 is really strong. Like the fact that you can just pop things out of battlefields, right? You can conquer it, take a point, and then they're going to have to play it and spend their runes to play it again, is really good, because then you can just kind of like hold a battlefield. You need cards like this in this deck, because without any type of like spells or a little bit of control, the units just aren't enough. So it does need support in Chaos, which is why this card's in the deck. So we're running 3 of those, and we're running 3 of Rebukes. So if Volibear ever does get put down, right, this is like your only way to deal with it, really, unless you use like, I don't know, like 2 Death Rockets on it. So for 4 cost, recycling 2, but if we have the seals, that's fine. At action speed, return a unit to a battlefield to its owner's hand. So it's any card, like any unit that's just a threat or is just too big for you to deal with. You can just pop it, get it out of the way, having them play again, entering exhausted, obviously. Then the next turn they can move it in, and then you can play another Rebuke if you want to. So yeah, this card's really strong. It's literally like the little cherry on top that this deck really needs to make it go over and for you to capture some points in conquering battlefields. The last card we have is Traveling Merchant. It's a 2 for 2. Very simple, straightforward. When I move, discard 1, then draw 1. So it's a dig in your deck, co-aligns with the theme of the deck very easily. Also, if you ever capture, what's the one? Is it Went Up Hills? No. Yeah, if you ever move into Zon Warrens, right? So when you conquer here, if you conquer it with the Merchant, right, you discard 2 and then you draw 2, right? And then also, if you only have 1 card in your hand, during that upkeep before you do all this, you're drawing one. So you're drawing 3 cards in one turn, which is incredibly strong. Any type of card advantage is always, always good. Yeah, that's the deck, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll leave a link in the description for Pixelborn, and maybe like a video of how to install and everything. Some other guy, shout out to Willow, I believe it was, did this great way of like installing, how to set it up and everything. So, yeah, I'm just glad Pixelborn exists so we can like play with the game a little bit. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today, guys. Just want to do a quick little intro. The gameplay is coming right after this. So thanks for watching. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. You know, you have a chance to win a Proving Ground box set if you do when we reach 500 subscribers. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate your support. Enjoy the gameplay and have a wonderful day. Thanks, guys. Unit. I get to go first, which is also very strong for aggro. 2/2/0 drop. Yeah, this is an amazing hand. This hand is dope. So I don't get rid of anything. I keep all of that. The fact that I have a gear right away. When you have a gear in your hand, you drop the gear. When I move, discard 1, and then you play this. Yep. Dope as hell. And then we enter a turn. What are the battlefields, by the way? Conquer, discard 1. Yeah, that's ours. And Reaver's Row is also good for us as well. Infinity may move. Yeah, okay. So we're going against Darius. I've actually never played against Darius before, so that's pretty cool. We do have enough to play Demolitionist. I'm not going to have to pay that. And I get the discard too, so I have to be careful. So, because I want to... The point of the deck is like the discard, right? When the time is right, so that you can dig into the deck for super mega death rocket. So I'm curious if I think I just play. So this makes me, I'm not gonna accelerate it, I'm just gonna play it normally, right? This makes me discard 2. I'll discard this and this, and then I can move 1, move this guy here, discard 1 and draw 1. So, and then he moves as well, so I get to discard another one after I draw 1. So I'm gonna discard. I might keep Gust just in case they start buffing Vi. So I'll discard, get excited, draw, and now I'm just digging for super mega death rocket at this point. I'm gonna keep Gust. This I don't need anymore. I already have a. And then I end my turn. Yeah, awesome. So that was like a pretty like ideal like turn 1. You know, you just want to like minimize your hand. Okay, so he decides to waste a disintegrate on my dude because he knows they're gonna keep moving. That's fine. I'm okay with that. One less thing to worry about. So if I get mega death rocket, I can just keep spamming it and then keep the battlefield clear because Darius isn't running that crazy stuff. That's like high powered, I think, at least. So how are you guys doing? Where I am at is incredibly hot, dude. I'm dying. I literally have a fan like blowing on me right now. All right. When you play me, discard 1, assault 2. Can he trigger the buff? He has a hidden card there, so no. I think we're gonna gust. I'm gonna gust Vi. I want to stay away from this though. I don't know what that is. What does Darius run? Okay, well now it's not hidden anymore. So I'll conquer this just to discard, but first, I mean rebuke is good. Yeah. So I'll discard that. So I can dig in, searching for that. Do I ever? No. So I got no hand, score a point, end my turn, draw a card because of Jinx. Oh, no, because of the battlefield. I'm sorry. So it's cool, but because like you know, Magic the Gathering, like you need to discard one in order to draw one. But here, regardless, if you don't have anything to discard, so I hold, I get another one, and I draw. I'll put the gear down. I'll use disintegrate to start killing things. Deal through. Oh, okay. It deals to a unit. So I'll grab another point, and I'll pass, and I'll end my turn. So I don't draw, unfortunately, because I have no targets for disintegrate, which is fine. Um, yep. So I'll get that out of the way. Because then I could just score a point. Like, I'm going to disintegrate it, right? I'll disintegrate Vanguard Captain, and then I can score another point. And also, yeah, that's good. Because I'm up ahead by 1. I'll hold on this. Yeah, so we'll just disintegrate that. He can... Okay, there's the rebuke. So he decides to take the point. However, I'm going to... I can't disintegrate it. So... Okay, so he decides to commit to this side. There's Darius. Let's see what he's going to do next. He has 1 rune left. What do you think the play is, guys? What do you think the play is? Okay, so he's fully committed to holding that, which is fine. I'm ahead by 2. I'll pass. I want him to. He decided to. Yep. He just gave up. He knew I could do things to that base. All right, cool. So yeah, I mean, Jinx is like pretty aggressive, dude. Very aggressive deck. Yeah. So he just kind of gave up, which is awesome. So yeah, like you can early game. Oh, it's the same dude again. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, as long as your hand is low, okay, we'll get rid of this. And oh, I forgot to take Blazing Scorcher out. Okay, so I'll get rid of this and this. Okay, that's a really bad hand actually, but we'll see. Drop that, and that's all we can do until he does things. All right. I really should have my headphones on. All right, there's the Death Rocket, which is good. We'll play Jinx. Not accelerated. We'll discard this, and we'll discard. I don't want to discard. Actually, do I discard this? Nah, because I can play it. Why would I want to do it? I already have a Gust in hand. Alright, so we'll do that. We're going to Death Rocket Vi, and then keep Jinx safe on the base. Is the game plan, ultimately. Let me put my headphones on so I know what... I usually don't like putting headphones on. Dude, it's so hot. Alright, there we go. So, alright. Oh, sorry. My turn. How's the audio by the way, guys? If anyone's there. All right, so they score a point. Set decides to commit set. All right, so he is he is tank, so he has to be dealt damage worth 5. So we're gonna. I can't target set. Why not? 3 or less. Okay, so I have to kill it somehow. He is 5, and I have +2 because of attacking, but he is tank. Okay, wait. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna kill. No. Here, it doesn't matter. And then we'll gust that. Exactly. So gust goes first. We'll hit this, and then I'll conquer. Exactly. Do I want to conquer this? They have ganking. Okay, they both have ganking. All right, so it doesn't matter. And then we'll unturn. And then we'll activate Supermagic Death Rocket, discarding Flame Chompers. So it'll always be in our hand. And this is like the point of the deck. So you're using Rebuke and like Gusts, right? To kind of control the field. And then just like nuking stuff with Death Rocket. Yeah, I could do that. And then when you discard me, you get to play. Yep. So that's why the gear. So you discard it, you trigger the gear, and you can just get a free 3 might unit, which is pretty cool. Pretty dope. Yeah, I like Jinx. Jinx is fun. Okay, so they fight. But this gets +2 because that was Assault 2. Unless he's got some battle tricks in. Yeah. What's he gonna do? Alright, that was weird. I mean, he knew he was losing. I think he meant to trigger, I think he meant to buff. Yeah, then he just gave up. I think he meant to, before combat initiated, like, so the issue is like, he sent his, unit into a battlefield, then the showdown starts, so you have to trigger visibility, by recycling things to get it buffed before it actually moves into the showdown. So I think that's what he was trying to do. I'm not certain.
Going against Volibear.
But all right, let's see if we can outpace Volibear. If he drops Volibear, we're kind of screwed. Or anything big, but I think we're fast enough that we can kind of control the game from there. And honestly, like a Gust to a Volibear is pretty good. Wait, no, Gust can't do it. Rebuke to Volibear is really good. Because Gust is like up to 3. All right, so this goes away, and we'll keep this. All right, that's the exact card that I was hoping for. All right, it's a good hand. If I beat him, I'll switch decks. I'll try and do like an Ari deck next game. Or I might do Lee Sin. I don't know. My Lee Sin deck kind of sucks, dude. I haven't really... Alright, so this always happens. Always put the gears first. Well, I should have played... it doesn't matter. Because I want to start discarding cards, to be fair. Let's see. Alright, we got that. And the ganking one. Okay. What do you guys think of Riftbound? Do you guys stoked? Not stoked? You think it's just gonna not be good? Do you think it's gonna fail like Runeterra? Although to be fair, the only thing about Runeterra that which like made it kind of like unsuccessful, sadly, is that everything was like free and like fair. Unlike, like Magic the Gathering or any type of like Hearthstone too, right? Like in order to catch up with people, sometimes you just have to put money into it. And Runeterra, everything was just free. Like, it was really easy to get free cards and make, like, really top-tier decks. Let's see. All right, so we always play Jinx here. Right, we play Jinx. We'll discard 2 in... we want to keep... We'll discard this, and... Get Excited doesn't really do much for us, honestly. Right now. Alright, well, so we'll drop that. I want to keep disintegrate just in case. All right, and then I discard one anyway. Actually, I have to discard it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So moves, I get to discard something, and then the thing is, disintegrate's not going to kill anything for the most part in that deck if he drops bombs, right? However, yeah, we'll just get rid of disintegrate because at least I can pop this up. Yeah, that's actually really good. All right, so we got a point. We'll end our turn. Unfortunately. All right, so he's got Dangerous Duo, Legion effects. All right, so he has 5 already. So they fight, they die. When I attack with Jinx, so I get to retake this, though. Still trying to get down to 1 card. If he plays anything below 3 might, then I'm going to use Gust, so I'll have 1 card in hand. For the most part. Ideally. Depending what I draw. He's 5 runes. He's definitely going to play a unit. As to what that unit is, I don't know. What's he running? Okay, so he puts Darius onto the field. All right. He gets he ramps because Darius has 5 might. All right, Rebuke is pretty good. So if he decide to, the issue is now he can kill Jinx. Although I can rebuke, right, as an action at a showdown. He's exhausted. He doesn't have any runes left. Or do I have enough? 2, 4. What's this? Red. I don't have enough. I don't have enough chaos runes in order to play rebuke. So what I'm gonna have to do is I have to pop this back up. Now the issue is he's gonna fight, right? And Jinx losing that situation because even though it's assault 2, I'll be defending, so I won't be attacking. So I really can't take a battlefield right now until next turn, until when I have rebuke online with another chaos rune, because it's just gonna die. And then, like, yeah, okay, you know, like Blazing Scorcher is gonna be able to go head to head, but you know, you could also give a Legion effect. Yeah, if it has any Legion effects, then like Jinx also dies to it. So, all right, so we have to be patient. Have to be patient in an aggro deck. Is my camera right? All right, cool. What's up, chat? How you doing, chat? All right, so triggers, Volibear's ramp. All right. Decides to. Is he gonna? Oh, he's gonna fight. Okay. All right. So I tried to protect Jinx, but he decided to fight anyway using the card. And now he's just gonna take that, and he scores, conquers 1. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to accelerate and kill Darius because it is only this turn, right? All right, what else do I got? You discard me. I do have a Chaos Rune ready. I could return it to his hand. However, he could use. This also ramps into Volibear. Gives him another way to. So they fight. They both die. I want to use that to discard. I think I have to. No, then I can't play anything else. I think I'll have to accelerate this and just kill Darius off and get a point to like even it up. That has to happen. Hopefully I can get something to discard so I can play this and then start getting value from the champion unit, or sorry, from legend unit and Jinx, because he's getting to the point like he has 9 runes right now. If he drops something, he can uh, channel another one exhausted, and then he has his 10 runes, so he can drop volley bear. The cool thing is at that point, then if he is going to, I'm just gonna uh, save rebuke. My magma worm is also terrible. All right, there's Jinx, so I can discard 2. However, but I can kill it. If I accelerate Jinx, I still have enough. Eh. And then I can activate this to play it. I'll attack. Gets +6. I score a point. I mean, Jinx is sadly gonna die from Magma Worm. But I mean that was like pretty much like the best play I guess I could do at this point. I think he's ramped up too hard now. Like there's not much I can do because like this aggro deck lacks in power. See. However, I can just start pulling Mega Death Rockets, please. That would be wonderful. And clearing the board with Death Rockets. 29 cards in deck. Yeah, now he's just dropping bombs left and right. It's not looking too good, guys, honestly. He's ramped up so hard. That's why Volibear is good, but like the thing is I should have tried I should have kept my combat. I guess like you have to change the play style. Right, like if you're going against Volibear as like an aggro deck, I mean, there's nothing I can do right now. Yeah, no, that's it. Good game. Like it's hard to keep control of the field. All right, I think we'll play one more game with Jinx to see if we can get like some gameplay of like Death Rocket going off over and over again. I can't wait till they update Pixelborn too. Like Pavel, I mean, like thank you first of all, Pavel, but um, I would just wait until all the cards are released and then update it, right? Because like you can't really like keep updating it like 3 times a week for like the 3 or 4 cards that gets revealed in reveal season. So, all right, so we're going against Victor, which is dope. The key to this is actually just keeping their board as small as possible because soon. All right, cool. We got Death Rocket in hand, which is awesome. That's the only card we need kind of to keep control of the game, and then we just have Jinx out and some other stuff. All right, so we don't really need to utilize the draw mechanic in Jinx. This looks decent. I don't think Get Excited really does anything. No. The champion unit Victor has 4, so I can discard that. Okay, cool. Yeah. And the battlefields are when you defend. Okay, Reaver's Row and of course Trifarian War Camp. All right. So the key for this matchup is to like really control this side of the board. I mean, obviously there's nothing you could do with him tapping Victor to create units. So I'm scared he's gonna drop a He's gonna score a point with this, ideally, right? And then he's gonna play Cruel Patron, the sacrifice it, draw a card, and he's gonna have a 6 might card in play. In that case, Jinx does, they do kill each other. The issue is 6 might isn't enough for Death Rocket. It is enough for Get Excited if I draw something. I think this is... I can always gust it. Nah, it's a 3 might. I think we play Jinx here. Makes me discard too. Wonder, yeah. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. Discard this and Get Excited, because Get Excited doesn't do anything. I need to put like a six energy cost deck, so I will recycle Wound to kind of gain advantage on board. It puts me down to 1. However, like it's fine because being ahead on board in this matchup is like really important, you know. Because as soon as he starts to go wide, and then like Siphon Power or Grand Stratagem, just kind of like or like game-winning cards. Okay, so I can score if he's not gonna do anything. If he plays Victor, which he should, I'm gonna. Well, not this turn. I have no runes. Is he gonna play Victor? Or is he gonna play Cruel Patron on here? Which he actually can't do. I learned that. So, Cruel Patron's cost of playing him is sacrificing the unit, right? Okay, so yeah, he decided to put another one on there. Because the issue is, like, the sacrifice happens before Cruel Patron touches the battlefield, so technically there is nothing on the battlefield, so you have to it doesn't work that way. So 2, 4, 6, we'll gust something. We'll gust his draw. I don't care about him having runes. And then Jinx will conquer there, and I'll conquer here. So, he has Hidden Blade on there, though. Hold on. He does have Hidden Blade on there. It's the only hidden card that this deck has so far, like in the game, so I can like telegraph that pretty easily. Nah, I'm just gonna go here. Yeah, I'm just gonna go here. And then we're just gonna nuke things off left and right so he can keep this free. Yeah, I'm not gonna sacrifice like Jinx or anything. I'm gonna try and hold here. It's the better play. And then I got stuff to do. So now just buy my time. Yeah, see? Hidden Blade. Yeah. And he decides to use it against it to channel. Because he's low on... I think he's only running... Wait, so he's running... No, he doesn't have any blue runes yet. Never mind. Because he played Sentry. Wait, but Sentry doesn't use any blue runes. Is he purely running yellow? Because if he doesn't channel any blue, that means he's not running the Siphon Power or Wraith of Echoes. Because this doesn't cost anything. There's just 2 runes regardless. Alright, and then he plays... So, yeah, before I start killing these things, if he does play Victor, I'm gonna, like, Death Rocket him. So there's this Disintegrate. I don't want him drawing. I do want to kill things before he drops Victor and gets value with the 1 might recruits. That's good. So he channels a rune. We're pretty much just holding the... So basically, like, my game plan is to eliminate this stuff with death rockets and stuff. If he does put down Victor, I'll kill it first because I don't want him to get the units. Rebuke is also good. It's also considerable. Alright, there's Vanguard. He should have done it the other way around. He would have gotten the Legion effect. So that was like a misplay on his end. Alright, so before you kill anything, you always kill Victor first. And that's the one cool thing. Like, Death Rocket is good because it targets like anything anywhere. Whereas like certain cards, like what this is at a battlefield, or Disintegrate is also at a battlefield, but this is just wherever. And it just can keep on popping to your hand. Alright, so always kill Victor. We hold here, and we go ahead on point. So the way the points work... Alright, no, he held there. Alright, so he is ahead technically. I have to get rid of this stuff before. So I can get rid of 2. I don't know why he doesn't decide to add it here. So he gets a recruit. He's starting to go wide. I'm gonna start killing things. Alright, so I have to sacrifice something now. That's a good card. He's gonna pop his recruit. Yeah, that goes definitely. So I do have to do something about this. This card's okay. Alright, so he's at 6. Power here. I'm not worried about him conquering this space because even... Okay, there's this other Death Rocket. That's cool. I have 8. So I want to use the Exhausted Rune to kill... Because I want to conquer something in order to trigger. I'm gonna rebuke. Oh no, it's at a battlefield. Never mind. It's an action speed. I think I might withdraw. No, I can wait. I can always wait for Reaver's Row to trigger, which is kind of like the point of why it's in the deck. So like if he comes here, I can always pull out my Jinx, and then I can discard a card to pull out Death Rocket from my trash, which is how that works. So do I? I think I wait. I think I wait. I think I just be patient. So he's 3 points away from winning, so we do have to be very, very careful and make sure that he's not gonna do anything. Right, so he's in range for Grand Stratagem yet, not right now, which is terrible. But the thing is, in this situation with Reaver's Row, I can just pull back Jinx anyway. Alright, so I will trigger Reaver's Row to pull. Reaver's Row triggers, saves Jinx. I don't want to kill the Evangel because 3 units get on base, and if he has Grand Stratagem, because he's in range for that, I will rebuke. He does have enough to play it again, but it's fine. Alright, so that goes up. So we're looking pretty good now. I can take both bases and stop him from scoring now if he decides to end his turn. If he did end his turn before the trigger resolved, when you got to pass response. Okay, so that doesn't happen. Then he can't play anything if he decides to end his turn. Well, obviously. So there's a recruit. Does he play anything? Call the week. So I'm going to sack Traveling Merchant, which kind of sucks. Obviously, Traveling Merchant. Alright, so get excited. Discard one, deal its energy cost. First we take... So we conquer here, right? We'll pass the response. I want to grab a Death Rocket to discard. Then Death Rocket triggers. I have to discard one, and I'll discard the unit here. And I'll discard Get Excited to get both Death Rockets into my hands. Unfortunately, I awkwardly have to play Death Rocket to kill this, because... Alright, cool. So, I have to, right? I don't want him to hold. He's at 6 right now, so I don't want him to hold next turn. So I have to use Death Rocket to kill a one-might recruit. So with Victor, nothing can enter ready, right? There's nothing he can do to enter ready. So from this point on, with the Death Rockets in hand and enough runes, I can pretty much control the game for at least 3 turns. So I should be able to take it. Alright, there's a recruit. Doesn't enter ready. Call the week really sucks, dude. Oh, no. Alright, so I need to draw something now. Another Jinx would be great because I can accelerate it to enter ready. However, I think to keep his side of his base clean, I have to like... That's fine, actually. I think he'll... The only issue is if he drops... Alright, so I literally can't do anything. The only thing I'm scared of, because I did rebuke the Machine Evangel. Yeah, okay, so the issue is now, when I kill it, 3 recruits come, and he can double... Unless I can gust it. No, I need another rebuke. Alright, there's Cruel Patron. I need... Alright, that's actually clutch, but I don't have enough runes for it. So I pretty much lost. Yeah, that sucks, dude. So yeah, the issue is that I can't Mega Death Rocket this, and I'm out of range for this. I could double up on it, technically. I think that's the only thing I can do, right? I just have to double nuke it. So, I mean, he can score a point, but then if it's out of battlefield, I can rebuke it back into his hand and kind of... Oh, it's like tooth and nail, dude. It's so close. I mean, he's so close to winning, but... The thing is, with his deck, nothing enters ready, and I can kind of control. I need to discard something, too, in order to get Death Rocket back. Alright, there's the other one. There's a recruit. Alright, Get Excited doesn't do anything. I think it's pretty much just GG's, right? So I can rebuke this. Um, as soon as he gets there, he gets scored. I could discard one. And nah, that's it. He won. All right, GG's. It's funny because this only targets units. Yeah. Doesn't score. What? Still in it. Still alive. Oh, jeez, dude. Look at his hand. All right, so I get to draw two because of Jinx, which is pretty dope. But he's so close to winning, man. I'm running out of, like, tricks to do. I think he all has, like, spells in his hand. I don't know what his hand is right now. All right, I hate that card. Come on, something good, something good. Come on, just two good things. Two good things. That's not a good thing. That's a terrible thing. Um... Alright, I can draw one, which is cool. What happened? Yeah. Wait, what happened? I didn't even get to. All right, it's so bugged out. All right, that's fine. That was a good game though. The issue is, see, like I said, like in the beginning of the match, like you have to stop that deck from like going wide too fast. And dude, look at it. How many cards he has in hand? He has 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's good. Good game, man. Good game.